The poem Paradise Lost by John Milton is a retelling of the story of Adam and Eve from the biblical book of Genesis, which describes the creation of heaven, hell, earth, and mankind. The poem fleshes out this divine story, imagining the couple Adam and Eve's reaction to these events, leading to their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. The poet John Milton had lost his sight by the time he composed much of this poem, and so dictated it to different scribes, including his daughter Deborah. A key aspect of Paradise Lost is that Milton doesn't portray the couple's decision to eat the fruit as inevitable. Instead, it depicts that the couple exercised free will. While Eve was seduced by the serpent, she still chose to eat the forbidden fruit, as did Adam in return. It is as if Milton wanted to use these events to demonstrate the ways of God to the people of his time. Now, the big question we will tackle in this video is, has Milton portrayed Satan, the king of hell, as a villain or a hero? John Milton's commiserating and condoling portrayal of Satan gives birth to the discombobulating question whether if Satan is really a villain or not. While reading Paradise Lost, one may be easily captivated by the expressions of gloominess, sorrow, and then suddenly speeches of determination and dignity, all of which throw the limelight on Satan's character. Due to such vivid and bold imagery of the devil, who has always been regarded as the greatest nemesis of man, a person reading this masterpiece of a poem is indeed forced to confront and contemplate this new dynamic character, which can no longer be interpreted as the source of evil. Besides Milton's own perceptions about the devil and his representation of the imp, I beg to differ that I find Satan as a partial hero. A conflicted fallen angel who rebels against his creator just because he fears the loss of his reputation doesn't come close to my view of a hero. But, however, the vivid explanation of Satan's sufferings, his claims of unfair treatment, and the attitude in which he rises from ashes and swears to make every being his staunch servant undeniably depicts his character as an enchanting and valiant hero. For instance, the following lines hint that the dooming damnation of Satan is a bit too jarring. Milton's expression of Satan's fall, rise, and winning hell completely is on point, and charismatic and heroic qualities. He complains to God that he was jettisoned even with all the loyalty he served. But if he was such a staunch and devoted servant, he wouldn't have denied his Lord's order in the first place. Satan's shock and disappointment is understandable that he was jeopardized when he was thrown from heaven. But instead of learning a lesson from his punishment, he took it as a wound to his ego and decided to write his story himself. I personally appreciate Milton's unique depiction of the devil where he tried his best to portray Satan as the hero, but I find it unfair to call him a complete hero. He did rise from his own doom, but just to get defeated again. I find Milton's devil a satanic hero. In a scenario full of negativity, failure, and defeat, Milton cunningly characterizes Satan with a bunch of heroic qualities and delineates him as the star. Those qualities may include strength and being dauntless, sense of leadership, superior survival instincts, and a vigorous can-do attitude. In order to conclude all that has been stated so far, I find Satan as a villain who had to become a hero for the sake of himself and his people. It was the demand of the circumstances which invented heroic qualities and the ability to lead a whole army in Satan, but for a war that wasn't meant to be. Nonetheless, this is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and please don't forget to subscribe as I'll keep digging into literature more and more. Until next time.